It was a Tuesday, the Sabbath, and I was minding my black business, hanging out with three of my friends. We were playing UFC 2 on the PS4, the greatest game to ever exist. And usually, men, when they gather around each other, they don't trauma dump, they don't talk about their feelings. They usually just say, hey guys, you want to watch a bunch of men play balls? That's right. A lot of balls. Football, baseball, basketball, anything that involves balls, men really love it. Because it reminds us that balls stick ball. Balls, we have balls. That's really all we think about. Only thing that really goes through our brains and our minds all the time is seeing other men, big burly men, big physical athletes of men, big meaty boys playing with balls, scoring against another team, the opposition, having a sense of kinship and tribalism, scoring and playing fantasy role playing with men that play with balls. It's usually what men do. But besides that very fun manly action, there's another action men love to do. You guessed it. That's right. We like to get hard around each other. We like to just get our phallic member all jostled up, getting it ready for something extra. We like to go to the strip club. My friend suggested, hey guys, we should go to the club. I said, oh, that's great, but I want to see chest. Oh, you want to see chest? Okay. I want to see hole. Oh, interesting. Cave divers. I didn't know we were doing this. I want to see two booty chicks bubbling and bouncing. Oh, you want to go to the club of the strip variety. So we pull out a bunch of ones and we all head over to the clubhouse. A little fun little event. Now, it was a Tuesday. And it was 7 o'clock. If you don't know much about clubs that are the stripper variety, Tuesday is 7 o'clock, not the best time to go to a strip club. Probably the worst time to go to a strip club. But we decided to do it anyway because we just like getting hard around each other and not being able to touch anything in the meat museum of debauchery. That's just the fun of having, just enjoying yourself, obviously. So we get up in there, no cover. We just walked on in there. And there's about 2 women inside. The bartender and the one girl that's there on Tuesdays. She is not having a fun time. She is having the worst time of her life. Everybody's looking at her. Nobody is really paying attention to her. But my friends really wanted to get hard around each other. So they sit around and I go talk to the bartender. And the bartender explains to me that, and I don't know why they're here on a Tuesday. Usually nobody pops up. But the girl up there, Samantha's really going to enjoy it. So they're tossing ones at her, things of that variety. And then I hear a noise. A festering somewhere in the back rooms. I was a little bit concerned, so I begin to walk towards the noise and I arrive at the destination, a long-tuned lad, to I look down and I see baby gravy. I see a baby. I see human cum after 9 months fumigated into a whole being. That's what I see. I see a baby. Now, I'm not used to seeing babies in the strip club. This caught me for a little bit of a loop, so I go back to the bartender. I say, hey, Samantha have a child? Bartender says no. So now this is a random baby. I said, do you have a child? She said no. Okay, I've deduced everything in the club because there's only about 2 people in the club. There's no DJ. There's nothing. She hooked up her phone to Spotify to play over the loudspeakers. That's what's going on there. She's dancing and having time of her life. And she thought she was going to have a good day doing nothing, but a bunch of guys that wanted to get hard around each other were there watching. But there's a baby here. So I say, well, we got to figure out what's going on with this baby. The bartender says, the baby's back. The baby's back. Babies, oh, this is a common occurrence. I didn't realize this is the common thing that happened. Bartender rushes over. She jumps over. Huh, we got to get that baby out of here. Out of here? What? I didn't notice that the baby was Asian. Perhaps Chinese of some maybe descent of Asian descent that I didn't know of. I just see a little Asian baby. I said, how? Is this a common thing? Yeah, the Chinese restaurant usually drops off babies here. What? Usually drops off. Is this regular? Yeah, this happens every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. What do you do with the babies? Usually send them back. Send the babies back to the Chinese place. So I said, okay, I'm curious. I'm interested. I'm invested in the story. I want to see what's going on here. I want to understand why there is some habitual war between titty strippers and Chinese people. I want to see what's happening here. So we go to China One, which is the restaurant up the street. We go over there and we grab the baby. He's in a little bib. And then Chinese person says, oh, you keep the baby. Huh? Keep the baby? No, this is your child. No, this isn't our child. So we don't know whose baby this is. We both are confused about whose baby this is. We don't know what's going on. My friends are still in the strip club, still hard as rock, still flaccidness be gone. They legless lizards getting crazy. Their Mike and Ike, their legs, their walk receptacles in between that, their long John Silvers is turning gold. That's what's happening there. I need to figure out what's going on with the baby. So I say, have you considered calling the cops? Now, this is the fun part. This is really cool. They said no, because where I was at, I was in a specific place. Now, if you don't know this place was in Toledo. So I'm going to show you something here. You see this? See this news story right here? This news story is of a massage parlor that was doing dirty deeds. The reason they didn't let me call, the exact reason they didn't let me call the cops was because of this massage parlor right here that is now under investigation and shut down completely because they were giving people herp the derp derp. They was giving people crazy STDs. Didn't know that was going on. So I was banned from calling the cops. Couldn't do it. They didn't let me. They said, no, we think we know where the babies are coming from. Guess what? Back to this, by the way. The babies are coming from the massage parlor because every time a woman has a baby, she tosses the baby and gives it to the Chinese place, and the Chinese place gives it to the strip club, and it goes back and forth. And I'm just curious, where are the other babies? Where are the babies at? I'm just curious where they're at. Just want to figure out what's going on. And they said, well, we usually give them to white couples that come in. Everything that is happening in this vicinity is horribly illegal. Everything is bad, and I hate every second of it. So I'll go back to my boys and I say, hey guys, can we figure out what's going on? And they're rocked up, they're bricked up, they are like a Dre Beats pill inside their pants, like a tube of tennis balls, like a deflated football, like a 1930s policeman's flashlight. It is just nuts. They got so much wood they can give it to a beaver and make a dam. It is just nuts. They are just rock hard saying, we're having a great time. We're watching Samantha shake it. And Samantha, God bless her soul, she has negative ass. It's just nice to see. She just trying her best. She just doing this. That's it the entire way through. I'm concerned and wildly perplexed why they didn't notice that I left, or they didn't notice that a baby was making noise. And as this was going on, we see a lady from a massage parlor come in to the strip club because it's Tuesday, and she drops off another baby and runs out. I try to chase her down, and she says, don't bother me. In the deepest, darkest, blackest voice I've ever heard. It felt as if I was speaking to the entirety of Mordor. I felt like I was speaking to Sauron. I felt like I was speaking to the voice of a dying giant. It was insane. I said, you know what? You got this in the bag. Not going to deal with this. So I leave the area. We're done getting hard around each other. They're having a good time. And I said, you guys not realize there's a baby in there? And they said, yeah, that baby's always there. Every Tuesday, baby gets dropped off. When I go to the massage parlor, I said, no. And they said, you're lost. So they go into the massage parlor for 2 hours. 2 hours. They get a massage and they smell crazy. They smell like Long John Silver's and the fish fillet sandwich. And they said, we had a good time. And they're scratching their crotch area. And I can only assume that they just got the craziest disease of all time. I need to tell somebody about this event because I don't know if the babies are safe at all. I don't know. I think they're going to white families. There's just a bunch of half Asian babies just with Chinese families, I believe. I don't know why they don't give them to Child Protective Services or orphans or anything of that variety. I don't know what was going on there. But it did disturb me. I was perplexed. I went back home with my friends, played some more UFC 2, and I have been thinking about this for 5 years. I feel like now was the appropriate time to bring this up because I don't have anybody else to tell this to. I have nobody else to express this interesting tidbit of lore that I have and delving into my life with anybody. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening in on this story. I was just drastically messed up. Just messed up my week. Anyways, bye. I'm your Nick at night, be my Laurel. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you're free.